The Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively legal saga continues, and after we've already broken down the complaints and the responses, right now
it's going to be Lively's attempt to recast what's going on here, to bring the narrative to her side and hopefully get some sympathy from people, because right now it's losing 90%, I would say. Zach, do you agree with that? And what about Taylor Swift? I mean, the silent deafening. Hasn't she stood up for other female artists in the past under circumstances, and now we're just not hearing any?
Hollywood's golden girl fashion icon and half of the most well-liked celebrity power couple, Blake Lively, is presently involved in a scandal that might ruin her career.
And what I wanted, there were two things that I wanted. I wanted the media and observers to know that a lot of us have a problem with Blake Lively and what she has done, innocent man. And so I knew that she was going to be getting a lot of love in the media for this big new premiere. And I just wanted someone to be out there at the premiere holding a sign, standing up for Justin Baldoni, and calling Blake Lively out for what she has done.
Citizen journalist had to say, today, while the public is screaming be heard on our distaste for this person, Blake Lively, and on a day where she had a perfectly reasonable and very public excuse to make a pass of walking this red carpet, Blake Lively walked a red carpet populated entirely of approved fans, vetted journalists, and media-prepped co-stars. Oh, sorry, you guys can't read all this. Media-vetted co-stars who are all there on the condition that they play by Blake Lively's rules. I may not have all the answers on why Blake has the stranglehold on Hollywood that has motivated so many to bend over backwards to do her bidding, but even without the why, the what, plain as day, Blake Lively is the powerful one. Stop thinking you can tell this lie to us. Now, I completely agree that Blake Lively is the powerful one. I don't know if there was some coordinated effort to talk about this, other than all of the PR are going to say, don't talk about it.
There have been floating rumors that she utilized false evidence against actor and filmmaker Justin Baldoni in court. You heard right. With potentially game-changing allegations, unexpected confessions, and leaked documents, what started out as a legal dispute has evolved into a full-fledged courtroom drama.
Just imagine, I mean, even when we do filings that are not public celebrity cases, you know, you kind of go back and forth about the wording, make sure that you have what you need. But here, they're filing it for an ulterior motive. It's really not for, it's for public consumption. So I can imagine that it's not lawyers that have to review these complaints or amended complaints. It's all the PR people. I mean, it's the agents. It's probably Ryan Reynolds.
Let's return to the initial step. According to those acquainted with the situation, Blake's legal team purportedly produced evidence that Justin Baldoni was involved in illegal activities, including money laundering and unethical financial transactions.
in the explosive legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, new text messages reveal shock behind-the-scenes drama from Blake Lively's alleged push to control the film's edit to these apparent mentions of Taylor Swift and even a weight discussion. These text messages paint a very different story than what Lively has publicly.
The so-called proof included email chains, text exchanges, and financial information that allegedly connected him to questionable actions. But here's the catch. According to forensic experts, the papers were created using advanced software. Cybersecurity experts have responded, pointing up inconsistencies in the email's content. The formatting appears to have been changed, and several timestamps don't match. AI detection algorithms suggest that some of the text messages were generated using deep sake technology.
The fact that WME fired Justin is a huge cause for a lot of the damage it's now suffering, including the loss of his Pac-Man movie and deals that Wayfair had. What are the real ramifications of this, and does it help that there's now actual audio?
I mean, I think, Andy, I think it's rising to the level of what we'd almost call a smoking gun. And you know, what you're trying to prove in the defamation case is you actually suffered damages related to whatever you were famed about or whatever was mistreated about you. And sometimes that's a hard nexus to prove. Hard nexus Lively to prove that her skincare line tanked because of the negative publicity. But it was going to be hard for Baldoni to show that any comments that were made about him, since he's been doing so well PR war, actually affected the damages. But what I think we're seeing now with this quote is WME absolutely got rid of him because of these things that were said. Now he's got a clear line.
There are disagreements among supporters. Some believe this is a deliberate attempt to harm Justin's career, while others assume that Blake could have been tricked by someone on her legal team. But if the evidence is fake, who benefits the most? Let's look at this more.
That was also a big issue from Blake Lively's team, is that, they were okay with the website going as far as the amended complaint goes. Now, when it came to that timeline, they actually wanted that timeline to be incorporated with the complaint as far as going into that paragraph form, because they kind of explained that this was all their side of the story. This was one-sided. But, you know, when you have receipts, timeline, facts, text messages, all this stuff to kind of honor the claims that, you know, your client has put forward, it's kind of hard to kind of diminish that a little bit as far as, you know, what is the possible pool going to see, you know, before they're getting called for this case. And that, of course, we know that the trial is going to be slated for next year. To keep that date of next year, even though the judge kind of mentioned a little bit that he might be interested in pushing that date forward. It seems like everyone across the board just wants a resolve. Everyone across the board is claiming, you know, with their respective parties that they have been either emotionally or financially damaged by everything that's going on. Whether it's Blake and Ryan Reynolds, who, again, we have to stress, Ryan was not even a part of the It Ends With Us movie. Again, you know, there's a lot of conspiracies, kind of what role he plays a little bit, but just sticking to the facts here. Whereas, you know, Baldoni's team, they're accused of sexual harassment, all this type of thing. So it's a lot of he said, she said. It's a lot of kind of mess. It's kind of giving you a little eeriness of what had happened with the Johnny Depp Amber situation. But again, this isn't a criminal case. This is not a civil matter. No one's going to jail. This is a civil matter. So I think as far as resolve goes, you know, could we all argue there's been damage to every single party involved?
At this point, the situation gets even more chaotic. The goal of Justin's legal team was to deny these claims. They analyzed the purported evidence and helped forensic analysts with it. And what do you know? It was easy to identify important distinctions. For example, one of the emails offered as evidence used a font that was not in use at the time the email was allegedly written. They found that Justin's IP address was from a different country than the one he was in when the second text message was sent. Then the most startling information was revealed. An anonymous former member of Blake's legal team came out to claim that they were being pressured to fabricate the evidence. Through sharing screenshots, this whistleblower exposed internal discussions on how to strengthen the case against Baldoni.
They did not do their proper due diligence. And most recently, we had a court hearing this past week where the judge had to work out the scheduling procedure of the case. The trial currently set for March 2026, but also he admonished and warned both sides, really the lawyers, to be very cautious about what public comments they make about this case, to not say anything that could potentially taint a future jury. And that's important because for Brian Friedman, especially, this Baldoni's attorney, he has been fighting this in the public just as much as in legal files, seemingly creating a website filled with correspondence, releasing behind-the-scenes footage, constantly talking about the case on podcasts.
Justin's lawyers immediately requested that the court dismiss the baseless accusations. Now, Blake's whole case is in jeopardy. But did she come up with this? Or was she set up by someone else?
Blake Lively's strongest claims as backed up by us. You see, the allegation that she was the victim of a smear campaign, and she says she's got the text messages to prove. So particularly the messages between Baldoni and Melissa Nathan, his crisis management expert, and Jennifer Abel, his publicist. So I want to go to her complaint. Her complaint reads, on August 16th, Miss Nathan circulated a Daily Mail article entitled String of Hard-to-Watch Videos That Have Surfaced Following Tone-Deaf Q&A. To promote It Ends With Us could tarnish 36-year-old star's golden Hollywood image for good. To which Abel responded, wow, you really outdid yourself with this piece. And Miss Nathan replied, that's why you hired me, right? I'm the best. As their own words reveal, the purpose of this social manipulation plan was twofold. It aimed to both conceal the pattern of harassment and other misconduct by Mr. Baldoni, Mr. Heath, and Wayfair, and retaliate against Miss Lively by battering her image, harming her businesses, and causing her and her family severe mental harm. Millions of people, including many reporters and influencers who saw these planted stories, social media posts, and their online content, had no idea they were unwitting consumers of a crisis PR, astroturfing, and digital retaliation campaign created and funded by Mr. Baldoni and Wayfair to hurt Miss Lively. That is precisely the goal of astroturfing campaign, to light fire and continue to stoke conversation secretly, blurring the line between authentic and manufactured content and creating viral public.
This incident is generating conversation in Hollywood and isn't only making news. Some of Blake's well-known friends are standing at her side, but others are oddly silent.
But here it is. I've got the protester, what the protester had to say, and why this article says Anna Kendrick delivered a shady response about reuniting with Blake Lively for another Paper premiere. I'm going to let you guys decide if it's shady or not, okay? So stick around for that. Here it is. This is Blake arriving No florals in sight, but she's at there. I mean, at the premiere. Now, what you can see is behind these barracks back here is the normal fans, and then I believe these are the pre-approved fans. People that know her, that have worked with her, people that are vet. Because I don't think they want any public going near her, and I don't blame them. You know what I mean? Like, this is just the way it is. But then again, there are people out there that want to know what everyone really thinks about this case that's happening. It's one of the most bizarre cases in entertainment news, and this is one of the times Blake has kind of done any.
Ryan Reynolds, Blake's spouse, has not yet issued a statement. People close to the relationship, however, claim that he is backing her because he believes she has been tricked.
This one. Remember this one? Right when the scandal was really breaking, he was like, everything's fine. All my fans have the exact same photo with the exact same blue tape. And not one of the members of all the press here are asking me one question about big scandal involving my wife and Justin Baldoni. This is weird. Not.
Chrissy Teigen, a former collaborator of Justin Baldoni, stated, "I've known Justin for years. This just doesn't add up. He's a solid guy." Law student Kim Kardashian also provided an interesting viewpoint. In situations like this, I wonder who is really in charge behind the scenes. The use of celebrities as pawns is common. However, Leonardo DiCaprio's comment was perhaps the most unexpected. He is accused of saying, "Hollywood is full of smoke and mirrors," in response to a reporter's query at a recent event. Not all of what you hear is accurate. Who is being truthful, then, and who is concealing who they are? Now, let's talk about the lead who came forward with the information and why. According to insiders, one ex-employee, who will only be named Alex to protect their identity, decided to come forward after realizing how much Blake's legal team was planning to build a case against Justin. They said they were instructed to change timestamps, create fictitious email threads, and manipulate digital data. Alex was apparently morally conflicted and took screenshots of legal discussions about how to present the evidence as perfect. Justin Baldoni isn't getting away with it, even though he is the victim in this instance. His reputation in the entertainment industry, built over years of hard work and advocacy, has taken a hit. Even if the falsified evidence has been made public, the stigma has persisted simply because of the association with such serious charges. Some businesses and partners could be hesitant to work with him until everything has calmed down because perception is so important in Hollywood. But was this leak part of a bigger takedown strategy against Blake, or was it a genuine act of conscience? According to others, Blake is the target of powerful Hollywood figures who want to see her fail. The timing seems dubious. Blake has fought for women's rights and industrial reforms. Was it possible for her to make powerful enemies? Let's look into that next. If we know anything about Hollywood, we know that behind-the-scenes power battles are not uncommon. Remember Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard? A private court battle turned into a major media circus. Is Blake in a similar predicament? Conspiracy theories are already in the air. Blake is claimed to have been set up by rivals who want to ruin her perfect reputation. Others believe this is simply another example of Hollywood's ruthless legal battles, where the result matters more than the truth. Blake's reputation is now in jeopardy nonetheless. Will she get better? What does this mean for Justin Baldoni's career? So, what do you think? Is Blake Lively genuinely guilty of manipulating evidence, or is this a well-planned attack? Do you believe the whistleblower is telling the truth, or do you think there may be more to the story? I would appreciate hearing your thoughts, so please leave a remark below. If you appreciate juicy Hollywood drama, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any updates.